700 horses of man and machine. They're full wide. Green flag, showtime. The Knoxville Nationals are green.
Welcome to the Coast to Coast Racing League Network, as it is another exciting night of Sunday Funday here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I am Travis Piercefield, and I welcome you to the Coast to Coast Racing Network. It is the Pro Late Model Division presented by the Extreme E-Speed TV, and it is week number 12 here for the Pro Late Models, as the summer season comes to an end. As we currently got about 12 cars here ready to take on the action, looking at that point standings presented by Sim Racer Hub here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network pre-race show. Those standings will look like this. It's Trevor Giroux atop the standings. 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s, still looking for that first victory this summer. Brandon Templeton in second. He is 33 points back. He did pick up a win this summer. Kurt Schatzer third, Brett Walsh fourth, Jeffrey Barker in the fifth position. Others picking up wins this summer season: Steven Spees with 1, John Hine with 2, Clayton Clewell with 2, Jordan Dye with 1, Joseph Grandy with 2, Patrick Spangler and Isaac Salas picking up 1 as well. Of course, John Hine picking up 2 wins here in the Pro Late Models this summer. Of course, our thoughts and prayers with him and his family as they go through some health items with their daughter this week. Always thinking of you, John, and hoping for the best with everything going on there. As we're up to a dozen cars here out on the track, it's Brett Walsh atop of the practice times here. You see a 14:97 for him here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Jordan Dye second fastest currently. as that is Steve Maurer out there on the track. Currently the only driver here out on the track at this time. As we count down here to racing action should start here at any moment. Of course, we had the midgets happening here as there is the checkered flag on this practice session. So it looks like our points leader, Trevor Giroux, will not start tonight. So we will head on into that qualifying session here, lone qualifying session, as cars will get out on the track here very quickly. There's Brandon Templeton, one of the first cars out on the track. New look for Brandon Templeton out there on that 31 machine, very clean, very 90s looking there. I have to do a fact check, but looks a lot like a Jack Boggs number 4 machine there. If it's not, then it's very similar. Of course, Brett Walsh out there on the track as well. As we have times coming in, it's Clayton Clewell atop the charts. He's got a 15:46. Templeton was second, now down to third as Dickens will jump in there. Kurt Schatzer, always fast, up there in the 2:18 machine. He's fourth fastest as Walsh will jump up to second quick here on his second lap. Stephen Bixler out there as well. He was ninth fastest on his first lap. As he'll come to a close. Bud Mullinox out there, he's sixth fastest. Clay Christopherson out there. As now Jordan Dye will make his time lap, eighth fastest, his first timed lap. Everyone still out there. It looks like it's just Jordan Dye now, trying to beat Clayton Clewell atop the standings there. He will not, and our quick time will go to that 120 machine of Clayton Clewell. As qualifying here coming to an end. Of course, we'll have our heat races coming up next before our 30-lap feature event. As always, thank you for tuning in here on Sunday Funday. As they start to grid on the track, we'll head to Gambler Motorsports heat race number 1, and they're going to line up like this. Row number 1, it's Bob DeGood alongside Kurt Schatzer. Row number 2, Brian Dickens next to Clayton Clewell. And running out the field will be Patrick Spengler alongside Steve Maurer. So 2 heat races here tonight will help set that field. Heat race number 1, setting that inside line. So it looks like Bob DeGood will drop to the back of the field here. As 8 laps will make up this Gambler Motorsports heat race and number 1. I'll move Dickens and Spengler up on that inside row. So 2 by 2 they go. They'll make their way through 3 and 4. Green flag will wave this time as that Stephen King Foundation pace truck moved on into the infield. Green flag waves. We're racing from Charlotte. As it's Dickens to the inside, Schatzer to the outside. Schatzer's got Clewell all over the back of him there through 1 and 2. As Dickens will slide up in front of Schatzer. Now 4 wide going into 3. Schatzer will have to give as it's Clewell to the outside, Spangler to the inside. Dickens the meat in that sandwich as they head off into turn number 1. Clewell taking over the lead. So quick time here in qualifying tonight. Very fast 120 machine there for Clewell. As now Schatzer's taken over that second spot from Patrick Spangler, and now they've got some distance between Spangler and Dickens. As Spangler and Dickens side by side for the third spot. Clewell all the way up to that cushion through 3 and 4. Dickens now will take over that third spot behind Schatzer. In 5th, you've got Maurer. 6th, you've got Bob DeGood here coming to the cross sticks. 4 laps to go. Big, wide corners here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Plenty of room to move around. As you see, Schatzer will slide up in front of Dickens. They'll head off into turn number 3, trying to chase down Clewell up ahead. Clear track ahead for Clayton Clewell as he continues to lead. His gap is currently 6/10 over Kurt Schatzer. And then it's Dickens and Spangler. Now Spangler got the best of Dickens. He'll move up into the third spot. Spangler will slap that wall coming out of turn number 4. But up front with 2 laps to go, it's Clayton Clewell. Clewell will go through 3 and 4. He'll get the white flag this time by final lap in Gambler Motorsports Heat Race number 1. Clewell, Schatzer, Spangler, your top 3 here on the final lap. And quick time in qualifying, he'll be on the pole in our feature. It's Clayton Clewell with the heat win. Schatzer second, Spangler third. So Clayton Clewell will pick up the victory there in Gambler Motorsports Heat Race number 1. Now we'll move on to Regency Home Inspection Heat Race number 2, and they're going to line up like this. Row number 1 is going to be Jordan Dye alongside Bud Molinox. 3rd will be Brandon Templeton alongside Brett Walsh. 5th, Steven Bixler next to Clay Christopherson in that 6th position. Of course, this will set the field for that 30-lap feature event coming up here next, here at the dirt track at Charlotte. As always, thanks for spending your Sunday night with us here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. As another season, the summer season here, comes to a close. Stephen King Foundation pace truck in the infield. Green flag will wave. Jordan Dye, Mullinox will take us off into turn number 1. Templeton able to follow Dye up through. Steven Bixler makes slight contact with Walsh as the front 2 are able to clear. 3rd on back stays heated there as Brett Walsh now moves up into that 4th spot. You've got Christopherson in that 51 as Bixler will resort to the 6th position here quickly. Dye holding on. We saw him pick up his first career Coast to Coast Racing League victory earlier this summer here in the Pro Late Model. So he's back out front here. Templeton into that 2nd spot. Walsh now moving up into 3rd. He has to check up there coming out of 2. That opens the door for Mullinox. There's now Christopherson up into that 4th spot. 3rd through 5th continues to exchange positions. Out front, though, it's still that 001 machine of Jordan Dye. He's now got a healthy 0.6 of a second lead over Brandon Templeton, who rides in that 2nd position. As we are halfway, 4 laps to go here in our Regency Home Inspection Heat Race number 2 at Charlotte. Making up some ground, that lead down to 0.2 of a second now. Templeton has the momentum on the outside. Jordan Dye down to the inside. He'll slide up across the nose of that 32 on the exit of turn number 4. As now Walsh will look to the inside of Templeton down the front stretch. Side by side for second as it's Jordan Dye up ahead. Time is running out this time by. The white flag will wave. One more lap to go. Templeton holding on to second. Of course, this will set that outside line in our 30-lap feature as Walsh will try to make an attempt. He'll let off the gas as Dye checks up. Templeton now down to the inside through 3 and 4. You got to watch those tires to the inside as it will be Dye. Templeton second, Walsh third. Is a great finish to our Regency home inspection heat race number 2. And just like that, we will head off into our warm-up session. And we will take an intermission break. When we come back, we'll have that starting lineup for tonight's feature event here from the dirt track at Charlotte.
These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
And welcome back to the dirt track at Charlotte as we get ready for our 30-lap feature event here for the Extreme E-Speed TV Pro Late Model Division. And they're going to line up like this. He was quick time in qualifying. He won heat race number 1. It's Clayton Clewell alongside our heat race number 2 winner, Jordan Dye. Starting third, it's Kurt Schatzer alongside Brandon Templeton. Fifth, Patrick Spangler next to Brett Walsh. Seventh will be Brian Dickens, lined up alongside Clay Christopherson. Steve Maurer will start 9th as Bud Mullinox will round out our top 10. Bob DeGood 11th, and rounding out the 12-car field tonight is the 75 of Steven Bixler. So 30 laps here at the dirt track at Charlotte, as it is Sunday Fun Day for the Coast to Coast Racing League here with the Extreme E-Speed TV Pro Late Model Division. Jordan Dye, Clayton Clewell bringing us to the green flag here as our Sunday night broadcast coverage comes to an end here with this 30-lap feature event. As always, thank you to everyone tuned in, all our sponsors as well. Another great season, our summer season here, wrapping up. Of course, a reminder, everyone have a great Labor Day weekend next weekend. As the lights are off that Stephen King Foundation pace truck, we're about to go green here in Charlotte. Actually out here in Concord, outside of Charlotte, here at the dirt track at Charlotte. As Clayton Clewell, Jordan Dye will take us to green. 12 cars revved up, ready to go. 30 laps of racing action. Two by two down the front stretch, green flag waves, and we're racing as Charlotte. Clewell able to break away as Jordan Dye's quickly under attack by Kurt Schatzer to the inside. 3 wide behind him for the third spot. Templeton to the outside. Brett Walsh in the middle as Spangler all the way down to the inside as they're 3 wide for the lead out of turn number 4. At the line, it's the 218 of Kurt Schatzer up from third on lap number 1. They'll check up. The racing continues, as now you've got 7 cars under a blanket here to start this one out. Great racing on this wide dirt track here across the street from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Up front, things settle down momentarily as Clewell's been able to regain the lead to the outside of Kurt Schatzer. Templeton trying to hold off Spangler for the third position. As Jordan Dye now back into the 5th spot, he'll make contact there. Still 3, almost 4 wide for a moment. Dickens is watching from the 8th spot. Is 7th on up is total chaos. Cars from the top all the way up to the cushion. As it's still Clayton Clewell up front. We're watching this battle here. This is from 3rd on back. 5 cars here, trading positions each and every lap. Slight contact there by Christopherson into the inside of Walsh as they continue to do battle. Clewell has led here. 6 laps complete quickly as the front 3 start to settle down. Now Dye will settle down, Walsh behind him, as now it's just Christopherson and Spangler down to the inside. It's the quietest it's been all night here as we'll go wide. See this pack up front. Clewell leads. Schatzer 2nd. Templeton 3rd. That's Dye in 4th. As they're nose to tail up around that outside cushion. Christopherson and Spangler still down to the inside. As now Walsh will look to the inside of Dye out of turn number 2. Clewell holding off Schatzer for now. Dye trying to hold off Walsh. Walsh will slide up. Dye will have to check up. So that battle will go to Walsh at least for now, as now Templeton has slid by the 218. A slide job through 3 and 4 will give him the 2nd position. Dye and Walsh and Christopherson continue to do battle for the 4th spot behind him. As now it's Schatzer down to the inside. Templeton will give his try at trying to chase down Clewell. Ooh, Templeton gets into the wall in 1 and 2. Schatzer checks up, so it doesn't hurt Templeton there. At least for the cars behind him, he will lose some ground on Clewell up ahead. Coming to 18 laps to go here at Charlotte. Walsh, Dye, and Christopherson continue to battle. Spangler watching this one on in his 39 machine. He rides along in 7th. As Dye started on that front row, now trying to get back up there for a battle at a victory here tonight, but he is currently entrenched with Walsh and Christopherson for that 4th position. As there's a pass for the lead, Templeton will go to the inside, slide job on Clewell. He'll hold on and he leads with 16 laps to go. Clewell returns the favor through 1 and 2, but Templeton will have that momentum to the inside down the backstretch as he'll go off into turn number 3, the leader. Cross sticks this time by 15 laps to go. Brandon Templeton, your leader here now. Clewell 2nd, Schatzer 3rd. Templeton came in 2nd in points, already 1 victory this year. Going for number 2. "13 laps to go" as now Schatzer's under attack for that 3rd spot. Walsh going for a podium as he's there behind the 218. He's got Christopherson in 5th now. He keeps looking to the inside. Nothing there as Schatzer will hold on to that 3rd position, at least for now, with a dozen laps to go. Out front, it's still Brandon Templeton leading in that 31. You can see that gap that he currently has on Clewell behind him. Currently, our Flatline Racing Body's hard charger is that 31 of Brandon Templeton, up 3 spots, started in 4th, now leading. When we went through our RSN trackside starting lineup, Jordan Dye was on the front row. He currently runs in 7th. Clayton Clewell was our pole sitter. He's running in the 2nd position. And Kurt Schatzer started 3rd. He's riding right where he started, but he is currently playing defense on Brett Walsh, although he is starting to make ground up on that Clewell car up ahead. We'll take a look at our Chapman Racing drone shot from up above. That's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th currently, as Brett Walsh has settled into that spot behind Schatzer through his tracks through 1 and 2. 7 laps to go. It's still Brandon Templeton out front. Currently a 1.7 second lead. Back to Clewell. And then this battle for 3rd as Brett Walsh will finally go by. Schatzer settles in there for a moment as now he's got Christopherson trying to follow that 52 of Walsh around. Schatzer will slide by in turn number 2, but Brett and Christopherson look to the inside as they go off into turn number 3. Spangler now joining this party. It's a 4-car battle. This is for a podium position. Walsh currently holds it down, coming to 4 laps to go here at Charlotte. Walsh holding on to 3rd as 4th on back changes by the 2nd. Schatzer has a rough turn 1 and 2. He'll lose momentum there, so he'll fall back. He was all the way back to 8th for a moment, now back up into that 7th spot. As we watch Brett Walsh run 3rd. He'll try to hold off Spangler and Christopherson. Out front, though, it's Brandon Templeton looking for his 2nd victory of this summer season down the backstretch. Clewell is in 2nd, Brett Walsh in the 3rd spot. White flag will wave here at Charlotte for Templeton out front. Clewell runs in 2nd, almost 2 seconds back out of turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It will be Brandon Templeton, your winner. Spangler Walsh will battle for 3rd. It will go to Walsh. Clewell in 2nd. So great battle there back in the pack, but the winner is going to be Brandon Templeton. Once he got up front, he was clear and off as he will grab the victory here tonight in Charlotte. And they will get parked here on the front stretch. Of course, your top 3 finishers we will speak to here in a moment, as we'll throw up those unofficial results as well. Brandon Templeton, Clayton Clewell, Brett Walsh, your top three. Patrick Spangler comes home fourth in front of Clay Christensen, Jordan Dye, and Bud Mullinox. A great four-car battle there towards the end of the race. Steven Bixler comes home eighth. Bob DeGood ninth. Kurt Schatzer, who ran up in the top five most of the race, will come home 10th as he had problems with 4 laps to go. Steve Maurer in 11th, and Brian Dickens will end up in the 12th position. And it looks like we have our second place finisher, Clayton Clewell. Clayton, walk us through that one as you come home second after leading the first half.
Well, I feel like I kind of burnt my tires up on the start trying to get around everywhere. I messed my left front up a little bit, sending a slider on Kurt on the first few laps. Made me a little loose on exit for sure. It was a good win by Brandon. He was definitely digging there on the top side.
What does that do to your strategy? Is right there at the start of the race, really the first 10 laps, it was go time right from the drop of the green flag. It doesn't allow you really to settle in, and like you said, you can burn off those tires just by trying to stay ahead of everyone that's charging behind you.
I definitely felt like I got out of my comfort zone. I really didn't ease into the race until halfway through it when me and Brandon were sitting there racing. I kind of wish I would have eased in quicker. It kind of shook me up at the start with going 4 wide on exit through the first corner.
Well, it was a great race. Was there anything there at the end that you could have done? I know Brandon was clear there for a while, but you started to make up some ground. Anything else that could have happened other than maybe a caution there late to try to close things up?
Not really. He was gone. I was really praying for a caution after he passed me. I saw him running that high side really well. I was really hoping not to root against the guy. I was really hoping he's going to smack the exit of 4 and smack the wall and hopefully break something or a caution come out somewhere.
Well, it was fun watching you guys up there battle. Come home second tonight. Who are those people and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Cleveland Speed Shops, 740 Graphics for the wrap. Everybody in Elite Sim Sports, Damian Sage, the team owner, Brett Walsh, Jordan Dye for racing this league. I really wish I could have got more races in this league. I definitely had a few wins. It was definitely a good first season for me. Work schedule kind of got in the way on Sundays, but it is what it is, and I'll definitely be back.
Well, we saw you came away with a victory earlier in the year. Or a couple victories earlier in the year. Will we see you in the fall, and will we see you in more when it comes to the pro late models here in the Coast to Coast?
Oh, for sure, man.
Well, it was great to have you. Welcome to the league. It was fun watching you all summer long, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Yep, thank you.
That's Clayton Clewell. He's our second place finisher tonight. Coming home third is going to be Brett Walsh. Brett started 6th, ends up in the 3rd spot. Brett, you were a part of that battle there from about 3rd to 7th there the second half of the race. Walk us through that battle and what was the difference to bring you home on the podium?
Man, that was rough. That was rough. Man, really, I knew I was a little bit faster than my teammate J Money, but he was also faster in spots that I wasn't, if that makes sense. I mean, but when I got around him, I felt like I was just holding him up then. And finally, we just found a groove and we just kept it going. And I feel like we got away for a little bit. And then towards the end of the race, I just feel like I just lost everything I gained. And then they started catching back up to me. So it was definitely a good race for sure. I had a lot of fun, man.
Well, you were part of that hornet's nest that we were just talking to Clayton. Right from the start, guys got racy quick, trying to move up towards the front. You were a part of that middle of the top 10 that seemed to be a tight group of cars from start to finish. What does that do when you have a 30-lap feature like that, and it's pretty much go from the start and no let up for you until the finish?
Oh man, when you see that start happening, you know where the line is. So I mean, you try to get in it, and then you see guys start moving around like that, and it gets wild there for a minute. But if you just kind of keep your head level and you kind of know who's around you and where they are around you, and where you can get away from it if something does happen, you usually come out pretty well.
Well, it was a great run tonight. You come home third, up 3 spots. Who are those people and who are those sponsors you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Man, I want to give a shout out to 740 Graphics, DSS, Elite Sim Sports, Clewell Racing Suits and Helmets, man. Hoosier Tires, Hillbilly Speed Shop, man. All them guys, they're good. They're good to me, man.
Well, congratulations, Brett. We look forward to talking to you again here on Sunday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is Brett Walsh, our third place finisher tonight. And now we'll talk to Brandon Templeton, our winner from Extreme E-Speed TV Victory Lane. Brandon, up 3 spots. You're also our Flatline Racing Body's actually, you know what? Stephen Maurer got you there at the end. You're still up 3 spots. You claimed the victory. Walk us through your battle there. Once you got up to that lead, it was clear sailing, but it took some work to get there.
Yeah, I didn't really know, if there was going to be a line there, if they were going to find out, they could go clear to the top and kind of diamond off the exit of the corners, and it was a little quicker. But glad no cautions came out. I was able to get my nose up there and get the position, and where I threw the sliders, hopefully they were able to react and threw some, crossovers there with Clayton. That was a lot of fun for a couple laps. And anytime I can race with a teammate and Kurt, that's a lot of fun. So. Yep, happy to pick up the wins tonight and hopefully move on next season and chase some more.
We talked about it with Clayton and Brett as well. It was really go from the start, and you starting back there in fourth, we're right in the middle of it. When all of a sudden we're going 4 wide for the lead coming out of 3 and 4 the first lap. How do you prepare for the rest of the other 29 laps when it's so aggressive right there at the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, that was crazy. You can't really prepare for that, but you just got to be patient, let off the gas when you need to, and keep your car in the correct position to take advantage when someone goes down or slips up. And for the most part, just try to keep it clean and stick to your game plan.
Well, you come away with 2 wins this summer season. When you look back on this Pro Late Model Sunday series here for this summer, what will you take away? What will you remember, and what will you take into the fall season from this?
Well, I think we had a pretty good season, moving it to Sundays with the midgets, and Kurt and I kind of doing the admin for the first time. We got pretty good car counts for the most part this season. It fell off just a little bit at the end like it usually does, but I think it'll be a good year moving forward. Hopefully keep about that 15 car range or a little above it, and should be a good season.
Well, thank you and Kurt for everything this season. It was fun to watch. Of course, watching the late models here on Sunday night. Appreciate you guys. Anybody else you want to give a shout out to and thank?
Yeah, I got to thank Jay with the Dirt Track Bank, Got Your 6 Racing Network, Joe Halder, Mission 22, everybody at Hammer Down Racing, Joe, Kurt, and Brian, Extreme Images, Maley's Makery, Hogan Lawn and Landscape. You guys for putting on the stream, Extreme E-Speed, Cool Ray, everybody with Coast to Coast Racing League. Thanks for helping out.
Well, congratulations, Brandon. That's our winner tonight here on Sunday Funday. It is Brandon Templeton claiming the victory here at the dirt track at Charlotte. Again, your top 3, Brandon Templeton, Clayton Clewell, Brett Walsh, claiming the podium here tonight. As always, and for all summer season long, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your viewership here on the Coast to Coast Racing League. Of course, if you're looking to join a league where it is all fun, feel free to visit c2crl.com to learn more or sign up. I am Travis Piercefield with Extreme E-Speed TV, and as always, thank you for tuning in. I will see you at the races soon.